Welcome back to VeloFacts, where the world's most fascinating truths come to life in ways you've never imagined. Today, we're talking about something so sweet, so ancient, and so unbelievably enduring that it's been around since the time of the pharaohs, yet still sits in our kitchens today: honey. Now, you've probably heard someone say, honey never spoils, but is that really true? What if I told you there's honey out there that's over 3,000 years old, and you could eat it today without a single worry? That's not a myth. That's a fact. Imagine this: deep inside the sands of Egypt, archaeologists open a tomb sealed for millennia. Inside, surrounded by gold treasures and sacred artifacts, they find jars. The seal is unbroken, the contents inside a golden amber color. And when they taste it, it's perfect. Sweet, rich, exactly as it was the day it was placed there thousands of years ago. No preservatives, no artificial chemicals, just pure honey. It's like a time capsule from nature itself, preserved through science that bees have been perfecting for over 100 million years. So, how on earth can something as simple as honey outlast empires, outlive civilizations, and remain untouched by time? The secret is in its chemistry. Honey is made by bees through a process that starts with nectar from flowers. They collect it, store it in their special honey stomachs, and add enzymes to break down the complex sugars. When they return to the hive, they pass it to other bees, who continue the process. Eventually, the nectar is stored in honeycombs, and the bees fan it with their wings, evaporating most of the water until the moisture content drops to less than 20%. This is the first key to honey's immortality: low water content. Bacteria and microorganisms need moisture to grow. No water. No life. But there's more. Honey is naturally acidic, with a pH between 3.5 and 4.5. That's too acidic for most harmful bacteria or molds to survive in. On top of that, bees add an enzyme called glucose oxidase. When honey is diluted, say, with moisture from the air, this enzyme produces small amounts of hydrogen peroxide, a natural antibacterial agent. Basically, honey is a chemical fortress that microorganisms can't breach. It's not just food, it's nature's antibiotic. Of course, that doesn't mean honey can never change. Over time, honey may darken in color or crystallize into a thick, grainy texture. Some people mistake this for spoilage, but it's completely natural. Crystallization happens when the glucose in honey separates from the water and forms crystals. It's more likely to happen if your honey is stored in a cool environment. The good news? You can fix it easily. Just place the jar in warm water and stir gently, never boiling water, or you'll destroy its delicate flavors and beneficial enzymes, and it will return to its smooth, golden state. The story of honey goes far beyond its ability to last forever. It's woven into human history, religion, medicine, and survival. Ancient Egyptians used honey not just as food but also as medicine and even as an offering to their gods. The Greeks called it the nectar of the gods, believing it granted strength and longevity. In the Bible, honey is mentioned as a symbol of abundance and blessing. Even in ancient China, honey was used to heal wounds, treat infections, and preserve fruits. Fast forward to today, and honey still holds a special place in kitchens and medicine cabinets around the world. Modern science backs what ancient civilizations already knew: honey has antibacterial and antifungal properties, can help soothe sore throats, and promotes healing in burns and cuts when applied topically. And yes, it's still delicious drizzled on warm bread or stirred into tea. But here's a thought. If honey never spoils, could it technically feed future generations hundreds or thousands of years from now? The answer is yes, as long as it's stored correctly. The key is keeping it sealed in an airtight container and away from excess moisture. Exposure to water is the only real threat to honey's eternal life, because it can dilute the sugars and allow yeast to ferment it. That's why those jars in the Egyptian tombs lasted. They were sealed tight in a dry, protected place. The science is fascinating, but the romance of it is even better. Think about it. Every spoonful of honey is the work of thousands of bees, each making countless trips to flowers, gathering nectar, and transforming it into something that will last for generations. It's teamwork on a scale we can barely comprehend. And that jar sitting on your kitchen shelf might contain honey made by bees who visited hundreds of thousands of blossoms, all working together in perfect harmony. Now, here's something to blow your mind. Honey isn't just found in tombs, it survived in shipwrecks. In 2015, divers exploring a 2,500-year-old shipwreck in the Mediterranean found sealed jars of honey at the bottom of the sea. Even after centuries underwater, the honey was still edible. Water couldn't penetrate the sealed containers, so it remained intact, proving once again that honey is nature's ultimate survivor. Some people even speculate that honey could be taken on future space missions as a perfect food source. Imagine astronauts traveling for decades or even centuries with honey as part of their supply, knowing it will never go bad. On distant planets or during long voyages, honey could be a small taste of Earth's sweetness that never fades. And while honey is almost indestructible, its creation is fragile. Bees are essential to making it, and they are under threat from habitat loss, pesticides, and climate change. Without bees, there's no honey, and no pollination for many of our crops. So if this fact about honey impresses you, remember the bigger fact: the survival of bees is directly tied to our own. Supporting beekeepers, planting bee-friendly flowers, and avoiding harmful chemicals are all small steps that protect these incredible creatures. The next time you see a jar of honey, think of it as more than just food. It's a miracle of nature, a piece of history, and a reminder that some things really can last forever. Whether it's sitting on a kitchen shelf in 2025, locked away in a pharaoh's tomb 3,000 years ago, or drifting through space in a future colony, honey remains unchanged, a golden constant in a world that's always changing. So yes, the statement is absolutely true. Honey never spoils. It's a gift from bees to humanity, wrapped in a golden glow and sealed with the science of nature. You could open a jar from ancient Egypt or from your pantry right now, and both would carry the same taste, the same sweetness, and the same timeless perfection. That's not just a fact, it's the kind of truth that makes you realize nature's designs are often far more advanced than anything we could dream up ourselves. And here at VeloFacts, that's exactly the kind of wonder we love to share.